I have loved having council members shadow me this week.
The Dimensions Council chose to take over our social media on Co-Production Week 2025. Chair Jordan and Vice Chair Kelsey shadowed Managing Director Sinead in some complex meetings to help us all grow and learn. This is what she said.
You know, in Dimensions, we have an empty chair approach, and I think it's a really great way to understand and get more insight into what we do, how we do it, and how we live and breathe our values at every level across the organisation. So I used to sit in empty chairs, and that was part of my personal development. And every opportunity I get, I invite people to sit in an empty chair and observe what we do and how we do it, and how at every level in this organisation we hold the ambition for people we support, and we want to grow and learn. Having Jordan shadow me in his vitally and crucially important role as chair of the council, it was really, really important. One of the meetings that he shadowed me in this week was following a visit that I did to a person we support's home. Things aren't going great for that person at the moment, and the team are working tirelessly to try and solve that. But actually, unless we all work in partnership and we, with those outside of Dimensions and those inside of Dimensions, we can't overcome all of those challenges. So the meeting was around how do we come together, and who else do we need to bring together to make sure that we can overcome the challenges and really, really improve the quality of life that this person we support is currently experiencing. So I did have a meeting with Jordan ahead of the meeting. I wanted to give him, because obviously he didn't come with me on the visit, I wanted to give him a heads up about what I'd experienced and what I'd observed, and the challenges that the individual was experiencing at the time. So he understood when we went into the meeting what had been done and what we were trying to achieve. Obviously, because I visited this person's home, I feel extremely connected, and that's why senior management visits and the visits that I do, announced and unannounced, are essential. I think being in the meeting was emotionally challenging for Jordan, and it is emotionally challenging for all of us when things aren't good enough for people we support and people's quality of life isn't what it should be. But having Jordan there gave a fresh perspective. Those in the meeting really, really appreciated Jordan's presence, because there's a sense that things aren't good enough, that you're hauled into a meeting with the managing director and the chair of the council to explain why. And actually, I think true to the values of Dimensions, it's not about that. It's about actually how do we work together? How do we learn from things that aren't going well, and how do we overcome them? How do we get to a better place? So I think the team really, really appreciated mine and Jordan's presence, and actually sent us a message afterwards to say, we really appreciate and value your support to help us overcome this situation. Kelsey was brilliant. Kelsey asked questions in the Never Event meeting. She was absolutely brilliant. She asked about a person's communication and could we do their duty of candour in Braille. And actually the person we support doesn't use Braille, but they're blind, and so it was just so interesting and insightful that Kelsey was encouraging us to think about how we do duty of candour in a way that is meaningful to somebody, and how we communicate that in the best way possible. So how do we say sorry? A big convoluted letter doesn't really mean much to somebody, but how do we say sorry in a way that really means something to a person we support? I've really loved having council members shadow me this week. I'm really grateful to them for taking the time, and not only to just sort of observe, but to join in and to provide insight into those meetings. It's been absolutely brilliant, and I welcome any opportunities for them to continue to shadow me, to help me grow and learn, and to help them grow and learn.